What if the Muslims won the Battle of Tours? Now, this battle doesn't sound very cool, but this battle could have altered world history as we know it. It could have led to Islamic France or Islamic Europe. Before that, we will need to go all the way back to the early 8th century and take a look at the Umayyad invasion of Gaul. Now, who are the Umayyad? Well, in 1661, this dude was the governor of Syria, and he decided to seize power and establish the Umayyad Caliphate, the first Islamic dynasty. The Umayyads' large and significant military force allowed them to grow control of the coast of North Africa to regions touching the Himalayas. Around 711, the Umayyad took control over Iberia, taking it from the Visigoths, who had controlled it for more than 300 years. Iberia soon became one of the most important and powerful parts of the Umayyads' vast empire, though they wanted more and looked north. The Umayyads then invaded Gaul, which is modern-day France, and went to war with the Frankish kingdoms and their de facto leader, Charles Martel. The Umayyad and the Franks get into several battles throughout the 8th century. One of the most important, though, by far, was the Battle of Tours in 732, in which Charles Martel engaged in a battle with the Umayyad forces. Though historians debate what actually happened during the battle, most agree the Umayyad forces had a big force, and they lost it to a lot smaller force. The Battle of Tours cemented that the Franks were not going to let Islam into France. But what if the Umayyads had won, and how would it have affected the world from then on? Well, we can only speculate, but this would most likely lead to an Umayyad France and possibly Islamic Italy, England, or even Germany. There's one problem though. The giant Umayyad Empire is in a state of decline, and in 1717 they even failed to take Constantinople from the Eastern Roman Empire, aka the Byzantines, and the several Persian and Arab revolt movements can lead to the Umayyad collapse. Now, if the Umayyads did collapse, what would happen to their new European colony? Well, most likely, Christian French rebels would use the Umayyad weakness to secede. But in the case of this hypothetical scenario, let's say the Umayyad, which is what they actually did in real life, stayed alive in Iberia, but in this case they also keep France. Though it would face problems, it wouldn't be too far-fetched. But what if the Umayyads continue to expand into a weakened Europe, and what if they are able to pick up some British or German colonies? Well, the Umayyads would most likely inevitably face a crusade from the Christian powers who fear that the Umayyads will threaten the balance of power in Europe, as the Umayyads had already invaded most of Western Europe. But what if the Umayyads played the safe game and calmed them down a little, destabilized their empire, and even possibly converted parts of France to Islam? Well, this would help with stability, but the fragile empire is most likely doomed to fail due to the different religious and ethnic backgrounds. Now here's one last scenario where the Umayyads stabilize but also colonize the British Isles and the Netherlands. In this way, they will have the full package when in 700 years, when the colonization game begins. And in this scenario, we'll say that maybe the Umayyads still exist by the 15th century, or that Muslim states in the British Isles, France, and Iberia are still very prevalent. This would allow for all Western European Muslim states to colonize the New World and lead to an Islamic US or Latin America. Either way, we don't know. But this would definitely be a strange universe where there's an Islamic United States.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no.
But anyway, we will never know what happens if the Muslims won the Battle of Tours.